Welcome, everyone. Thank you for joining me today as we explore a topic that's both timeless and deeply relevant. How to handle people who are disrespectful, using the wisdom of Stoic philosophy. Now, disrespect comes in many forms. It could be a sarcastic comment from a colleague, being ignored by someone you care about, or even strangers projecting negativity your way. But no matter the situation, it stings. I've faced disrespect myself, subtle and not so subtle. And it took me a long time to learn that reacting emotionally only gave away my power. That's when I turned to Stoicism. These ancient principles helped me shift from reacting to responding. Today, I want to share with you 5 core Stoic strategies that help me handle disrespectful people with calm, control, and inner strength. And this isn't just a lecture. This is a reflection of what I've personally lived through and how Stoicism reshaped my mindset. Let's dive into each principle deeply. 1. Control your response, not their behavior. One of the foundational teachings in Stoicism is understanding the distinction between what's in our control and what isn't. Epictetus, a former slave turned philosopher, said it clearly: some things are up to us and some things are not. Disrespect from others falls into the category of what we can't control. But our internal reaction? That's 100% on us. Let's break this down. Imagine someone cuts you off in traffic. Your immediate urge might be to honk, shout, or let anger take over. But in doing so, you've allowed someone else's action, something you had no control over, to dictate your emotional state. Now, imagine choosing instead to stay calm. You take a deep breath and remind yourself, I control me. I choose how I respond. In my own life, this shift changed everything. There were times when people would try to provoke me on purpose, passive-aggressive comments, dismissive attitudes. And yes, it hurt. But I learned that not every comment deserves. By choosing your response, you keep your dignity intact. You remain the master of yourself. And that's real strength. 2. Don't take it personally. This was perhaps the hardest but most liberating lesson I've learned. When someone disrespects us, it feels personal, like an attack on who we are. But the truth, as Epictetus reminds us, is that people act based on their own judgments, their own pain, their own worldview. They might be lashing out because they're insecure, frustrated, or carrying emotional baggage. Their disrespect is often more a reflection of their inner world than a statement about you. Let's say a coworker belittles your ideas in a meeting. Your instinct might be to feel offended, to question your worth, or to fight back. But what if, instead, you viewed their behavior as a mirror? Maybe they feel threatened by your potential. Maybe they're trying to assert dominance because they feel powerless in other areas of life. The Stoic response isn't to internalize it, it's to understand it. When I adopted this mindset, I began to see disrespect not as an insult but as information. Information about the other person's state of mind. And that shift gave me the space to choose calm over chaos. 3. Use disrespect as a mirror for self-reflection. Seneca, another great Stoic thinker, taught that every challenge is a training ground for the soul. When someone disrespects you, it's easy to point the finger outward. But Stoicism encourages us to look inward first. Ask yourself, why does this bother me so much? What part of me feels attacked? Is it my ego? My pride? My need for validation? Let me be honest. I've had moments when a small, offhand comment kept me up at night. Not because it was especially cruel, but because it touched something raw in me. Something I hadn't yet healed. That's where the mirror comes in. Instead of seeing disrespect as purely negative, I began using it as an opportunity to examine myself. Did I need more self-confidence? Was I placing too much importance on others' opinions? This doesn't mean accepting bad behavior, but it does mean extracting value from every experience, even the uncomfortable ones. Through this process, I've learned to become emotionally sturdier. The things that used to trigger me don't have the same power anymore. I still feel, but I'm no longer ruled by those feelings. 4. Set boundaries calmly, not emotionally. Now, let's be clear. Stoicism doesn't mean being a doormat. It doesn't mean letting people walk all over you. On the contrary, it encourages us to act with reason and integrity. If someone consistently disrespects you, a toxic friend, an abusive partner, an overbearing coworker, you have every right to set boundaries. But the how matters. Instead of yelling, shutting down, or seeking revenge, the Stoic path is to communicate with calm firmness. You might say, "I don't appreciate how I was spoken to." If that continues, I'll need to step away from this conversation. That kind of response is powerful. Why? Because it comes from self-respect, not anger. I've had to walk away from relationships that didn't honor me. Not because I hated those people, but because I love myself enough to step back. Setting boundaries is one of the most stoic things you can do, because it means taking responsibility for your own mental space, your time, your energy. 5. Walk away without hatred. Sometimes, despite our efforts, people won't change. They'll continue to treat us poorly. And in those moments, the best thing you can do for your sanity, your growth, your peace is to walk away. But do it without bitterness. This is where many of us struggle. We want justice. We want an apology. We want them to understand how much they hurt us. But waiting for closure from someone who disrespected you is like expecting a thief to return what they stole and apologize for taking it. True closure comes from within. The Stoics teach us to let go of grudges, to release resentment. Hatred weighs you down. Forgiveness, not for them, but for you, is the key to freedom. When I've chosen to walk away, I've made it a point to wish those people well in my heart. Not because they deserved it, but because I did. I deserve peace. And so do you. Conclusion: putting Stoicism into practice. So, let's recap these 5 Stoic strategies. Control your response, not their behavior. Don't take it personally. Use disrespect as a mirror. Set boundaries calmly. Walk away without hatred. These principles aren't just philosophical ideas. They're tools, practical tools that can reshape your daily life. When you're grounded in these teachings, disrespect no longer defines your day. You don't carry it with you like a burden. You notice it, you address it, and you move forward with grace. That, to me, is power. So the next time someone treats you poorly, pause. Take a breath. Ask yourself, what would a Stoic do? Then, choose the response that aligns with your highest self. Thank you for being here today. If this message resonated with you, I invite you to reflect on it, share it, and carry it with you. Because in a world full of noise and ego, we need more calm, clarity, and inner strength. Stay grounded, stay strong, and above all, stay true to yourself. Until next time.